Hello everyone, it's Stacy with Real Life Psychology and Life Coaching, and today our topic is primal nurturing. Do you know what primal nurturing is? No? All right, well come on, let's have a seat on the couch. What is primal nurturing? So primal nurturing is basically like if you were a child. If you were hungry, you cried, you got fed. If you were cold, you got a blanket put on you or a jacket. If you wanted entertainment, you got played with and got toys. What happens is when we are young, as we grow, we are developing different things inside of us that create our child growing into an adolescence and our adolescence growing into an adult. Some people have traumatic issues that if they are not dealt with prior to becoming a full-blown adult, they still harness those childhood trauma issues. And in doing that, it causes addictions. You can have eating disorders, you can have depression, you can have sexual issues, you can have low self-esteem, you can have self-mutilation. There's so many things, drinking. There are so many things that happen if something happens to you as a child or even an adolescent and you don't get the help you need to heal before becoming an adult. So what happens is when we are adults, we have these issues that we cannot control. We have no idea what's going on with us because we haven't healed from a previous situation. What happens with that is we start doing things that are unsafe. We start doing things that cause us harm, and then we flash or react to different people in certain situations, and those are called triggers. We get triggers. So let's just say, for an example, as a child, when I was young, someone would bust into my room while I was sleeping and hit me or whoop me or do something. As an adult, I may not be able to sleep well at night because, unless my door is locked, because I'm constantly afraid someone's going to come in and do something to me, even as an adult. And I know that those were child things. And sometimes you don't realize that the things that happened to you as a child triggers your adulthood. You're thinking, I'm an adult now, no one's going to do that to me, but you haven't told your inner child that. You haven't told your inner adolescence that. So you have these emotional issues that are not being healed completely because you're not addressing those. So what primal nurturing is as an adult is nurturing that adolescence or that child in you in order to completely heal. And in order to completely heal, you need to address those with the child. So one of the suggestions is to make sure that you are having those conversations with yourself in private moments. For example, if I do something like go to a grocery store and I'm honestly going to go get my adult things, I'm going to go get my potatoes and my eggs and my fish. If I had issues as a child with not getting things I wanted in the store, I might say, hey, baby child Stacy or whatever, do you want something? Do you want a Snickers? Do you want that soda that you never get but you crave sometimes? That's the inner child in you wanting to kind of reach out. The inner child is not going to always be there to aggressively take control and get healing. The adult in you has to kind of do that. The children in us, they are acutely aware of signs of things that happen. So I know this sounds like a lot and it's kind of rambling, but I'm going to tie it all together for you here shortly. When you're a child, you go through certain things, and then when you grow up into an adult, you kind of put those things in the back of your mind, but some things still trigger you. So when you have things that happen to you as a child, you react to them as an adult. In order to completely heal those things, you have to address those things as a child. You can't address those things as an adult because the adult you is not focused on those things, but the child you is still grieving from those things. So if you have something in your childhood, you need to address it. Learning who you are in your childhood actually teaches you who you are as an adult. I have been going through the process of learning myself for the last 2 years. I realized that a lot of things I've been doing because it's great for me, or people say, oh, you'd be good at this. I wasn't actually giving myself the realization of figuring out who I was. Now, I've always known my favorite color was red. Some people say their favorite color is a certain thing because that's just what they typically choose. But if you listen to the child in you, you'll start learning, what do you like? What do you don't like? This is how you actually learn who you are. If you have not been through that self-fulfilling process, you can't really know who you are as an adult. Example. So just a few weeks ago, I was laying in bed and I was looking around the room and I'm like, oh, this room is so adulty. I don't know if it was because I just turned 45 or what, but I was like, ooh, okay, we need to redo this. And I'm laying in there and I'm thinking, ooh, I want some swing chairs over there. And I want, this type of bed. And I want this type of, little chair thing in front of it. And I started to realize that none of that was the adult me. It was the child me. I was trying to redo my room in a way that really opened up the inner child in me. And so it's something as simple as, a candy bar, or, going out and go-kart racing, or, spending time with friends, or just having like a Coke. And if it's more a traumatic situation, like, sleeping with the door locked because, something traumatic used to happen, you have to adult that child and let that child in you are there to support, to take care of, to nurture, and no one's going to hurt you. And so that child can slowly heal so that the adult in you can be the best adult in you can be. So this process is something that is really important in today's time, because so many people have so many issues that they don't address. They carry on into an adult and never even know why sometimes, or just never get the help that they need. So make sure you start parenting yourself. I've always wanted to say this: stop living perfectly and begin living authentically. Live your best life. The you that you want to be, the inner child, the adolescent, the adult, make them somebody that you are proud of. Every last one of them. All right. Have a great day and happy Sunday.